nature. Possession is the motivation that is hanging up the goddamn nation. Looks like they always end up in a rut. Everybody now trying to make it real compared to what? Come on, baby.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Pascucci, and welcome to another exciting edition of Everything But the Kitchen Sink, broadcasting live from the Mansfield Cable Access Studios, which is a cool place to be. So good to be here. And as usual, we start off the show and our usual thing, and that's if you want to get a hold of us for any reason. The best way to do that is to get us on our email account at mansfieldkitchensink@gmail.com. Right there in front of your screen. Our ace director, Jack O'Neill, is dead eye with that. He gets that on there every time, and it is so good. And I always start the show by asking if you want to recommend a guest or suggest a guest, be a guest, have a question for a guest. Well, guess what? You know what? We listen to you people. And we've been on almost 2 years now, and we've always asked, you know, who do you want to have on the guest? And the top three have been pretty interesting, and the third one is the number 3 request of all time is our good friend Selectman George Dentino. The number 2 guest has so far eluded us, but we're going to make a serious run at Senator Scott Brown. And the number 1 guest is a gentleman who I got to know back and forth trying to do the show. He's turned out to be a pretty good guy. He's turned out to be a real good friend. He's a little bit more famous than some of the guests here, but he is definitely the real deal. The guy from Boston, the one and only Joe Ligotti. Welcome to the kitchen, Joe.
Oh, thank you. It's my favorite room in the house. I mean, that's obvious.
Wow.
Wow, I beat out Scott Brown, huh?
Yes, you did. Matter of
Wow.
fact, you're going to be seeing him later. You might as well tell him that.
Well, I will see him and I will tell him. And I don't have to get naked like he did, do I, to get famous?
Well, no, you don't.
No.
We'll dub that in afterwards.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of shadowing and airbrushing.
Well, that's
yeah.
all right.
All right.
We're going to do a little.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I was in contact with you a while ago, and
You definitely did. You hunted me down, and you're real good at hunting.
yeah, that's good.
You sure you're not a bill collector?
Well,
that's who I thought you were at first.
My former
That's why I
life.
didn't answer the phone.
That's all right. I keep changing numbers.
Yeah, I noticed that. You have more numbers than my bookie.
There you go. That's a secret.
Oh,
but anyways, Joe is, as many of you know, Joe is the guy from Boston, and the original one, and not the cheap imitation. And that's all been put to rest, I hope. But Joe, you know, has got his radio show on TKK, on the Joe and Huggy Show. Yeah, and actually, Joe had me on as a guest, and looking forward. I actually want to do it again, because this time I'll know that I can talk on there rather than just sit there and listen to it. I didn't realize it was okay to say something, but it was really one of the most
pretty fast though, huh?
Yeah, it was one of the most fun days I've had in a long time, and really I thank you for that. And Huggy was very nice. Huggy was a nice guy.
Let's not go overboard.
No matter what you say about him.
He sucks.
So anyways, and Joe is also get a little more kick. He does spots on the Fox Morning News with VB and a couple of the people there, Cosmo Macero. And he also he does some spots for the Phantom Gourmet. And his newest venture now is on Real Fox, the big Fox Business Network, the Bulls and Bears show with the average Joes. Right? How often do you do that now?
Once a week. We go on Bulls and Bears, and it's the way the economy is affecting regular people, and I guess I'm as regular as they could find, and here you go.
Well,
having some fun.
You fit the mold. They were looking for someone named Joe.
If you could get a mold that looks like me, I would break it real quick. But yeah, I mean, I've been very fortunate and lucky, and I have some friends at Fox, and Mr. Cavuto was my godfather there, and yeah, just happened to, I'm telling you, God's blessed me seriously. I don't understand what's going on. It started as a very humble beginning, and I'm still humble.
Well, let me tell you, Joe, to me, what the draw was is Joe is as self-made as one can be. You are really a self-made man. You have done. You started out making internet videos and rants, and And that was your original claim to fame?
Well, my nephew was in Iraq. I'm very proud of him. He did his 3 tours. He's a decorated disabled Marine, and I was sending little bits and pieces of myself over there to some of the guys that I had met in his unit, because we threw them parties every time they deployed, and I was trying to cheer them up. And then you know how one thing leads to another. Who gives it to somebody that gives it to somebody? This internet thing is fantastic, and yeah, I'm all around everywhere, and then I end up on the West Coast and the East. I don't get it, and now I'm sitting here in the kitchen sink.
There you go, huh?
I'm sinking it.
So that was the inspiration then, was for that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it just turned into a production video type deal. I mean, because you have several. I mean, I can't even. You must have at least 3 dozen videos out there that
And we're restarting that. I'm going back to my roots. I get tons of emails. What happened here? What happened here? You went commercial. You went this. You went that. It wasn't that. It was just, to be honest with you, I need somebody to film them. And I was nice enough to find a fella that wanted to film them now. And we're teaming up next week. And the new thing is we're going to go out to special sites in Boston so people can see our city, showcase it, whether it be the Tea Party ship where everything kind of started and Constitution or whatever. And that's kind of what I want to do, is showcase the city. At the same time, kind of have the balls to say what people are thinking, because if you don't stand up to your government, all right, there's a big rally coming up with the Tea Party, isn't it?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. If you don't stand up and question your government, then our American way of life has died. And that's just kind of me. I mean, I've always questioned authority.
Right.
Most of the time it's 30 days I get to think about it, but, you know.
So where did you tape the original videos? I mean, I know you did one in New York. You did one.
Yeah, we went
Statue of Liberty. You did an outtake reel there.
Yeah, and that was the first time I actually got to go to New York or travel at all. And then we went to Philly to eat cheesesteaks. That's a stretch. And I don't like them down there. They don't chop the thing nice, chop. Yeah. It's that stuff with cheese whiz.
Yeah.
I'm even getting agitated talking about it. But yeah, as I said, it's taken me everywhere that I can't imagine. And yeah, we used to film them at a cigar store and then a basement. And then I lost a fella that used to film them, and now like I said, I'm going to return to my roots because they were the most fun. I had the most creative input into them, and that's all I ever wanted to do was, talk to people and say, look, get off your ass and engage in government. I don't care if it's town, state, whatever it is. You can't just be a taker. You have to put something back in. And that's kind of the gist of my message now, and, keeps everybody on their toes. I guess, the governor ducks my calls, the senators now. Although I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make a little prediction right here.
Okay.
I think I might be able to get my friend to come and sit in this chair too. He won't look as good.
Oh, really?
Well, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I'd like that. We've been trying.
Since he's number 2.
Number 2. That's right. Be careful how you say that to him.
Who? I don't care. Didn't you just say I'm the guy from Boston?
Yeah. Oh, no, in the fall, during the last election, we brought in a lot of, Eddie and I brought in a lot of new blood that were running for office, and, Tea Party candidates, and we had Sean Belat. We were like the first people to get Sean Belat, Marty Lamb in here. We had Shauna O'Connell.
Oh, really?
Sure. Shauna was here before most people even knew who she was. And she was fantastic. Steve Howitt. These are some people that did really well.
And that's what I want. If you want to take something out of Joe Ligotti's videos, that's what I want. I want to see 9 or 10 candidates in every race. Because when you only have an incumbent running, and nobody running against them, it's not American.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And that's what I was hoping that I became a part of, and it seems to be catching on. I don't know.
Well, now, one of the things I noticed that caught my eye way back early on, when I first started following you, on your show and things, was You did a segment on the Phantom Gourmet, which to this day I thought was one of their best segments, and they had some skinny little twerpy guy whining about how good the restaurants were at the South End, and they had you doing the North End, and it was definitely a tables, ladders, and chairs match because you really romped on them.
Well, I have to tell you, you know, if you owe something to a friend, it's Dave Andelman and his brothers actually were the first ones to put me on TV.
Really?
And it was on a bet. One brother said to the other brother, "You'll never have this ridiculous jerk on your show." Dave said, "Really? Watch this." Wow. And that's kind of, we built a relationship from there. No, but that was kind of fun. That was the Proper Bostonian. The fellow's name is Jonathan Suroff, yep. And nice guy. And that was kind of a fun thing to do, to stick up for your favorite restaurants and whatever. And we all know the South End is not anywhere near like the North End. Forget about it.
There you go. And that's the other thing. Now, Joe's big thing is he tells it like it is, and he's not afraid to. And he is the only person I know in the media that will come out and say scamots instead of mozzarella cheese.
Scamozza, what are you going to do?
You know?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people. I've got to know Joe a little bit, and I got to be honest with you.
Oh, how much?
Well, that's for after the show.
Oh, that's after. I'm sorry.
You know, Joe comes on. Everybody sees, you know, the tough guy, and you know, with the, you know, he comes on with the ranting and everything else. But underneath that, there's a very caring man, a husband, a father, a very nice, you know, nice man. You know, underneath that, there's parking, but that's neither here nor there.
I hear you.
So, anyways, now you're still doing the radio show now.
Yep.
And you had a little turmoil at the station, which did not concern you for a change.
Yeah, that was nice not to be in the boss's office. Yeah, we usually end up there Monday or Tuesday after my show on Saturday. But, hey, you know what they say, if you can't take a joke.
Yeah, that's it. So, so when are you guys going to get the afternoon drive slot? Huh?
Hey, that's way above my pay grade. All I can tell you is that it's just fantastic to have a voice and a slot on WTKK, and they've been very nice to me. And anytime they're ready and want to, need a fill-in or need Huggy and I to help, we're always there, and they know that. But hey, that's flattering.
Right.
I'm who knows?
Well, now that we've got nothing else to do, let's talk about Huggy for a second.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, no, actually, he's a very. He was actually very nice to me the day I was there.
Well, that's
must have caught him on a bad day.
Yeah, that's an act.
Yeah,
I pay him to be nice to the guests.
So, anyways, how did you two hook up on the station, or did you know him before then, or?
Listen, we never slept together.
No, well, that's.
I mean, you talk about hooking up, but we listen. Wow. Well, you got to be careful. There's this Facebook generation out here. It means a whole different thing.
Yeah, I know.
Well, actually, the program director, Grace Blazer, I had been going out to the West Coast, and she wanted to give me a radio show. I was fortunate enough to come back from the West Coast, and she hooked me up with a fellow that worked in Morning Drive in Philly, and he was kind of Greg Hilly type, rock oriented, and they said, we're going to meet at Reno's in East Boston. We want you two to sit down and talk. Well, I walked in, and at the time I had a friend come with me who was helping me along in representation and making sure I made some right choices. And she says, now be nice to the guy when he sits down. This guy walks in, and I can't say really what I said. But I said, forget about it. What are you, nuts? I'm going to be on with this. I forget about it. Now, he went out to go to the bathroom or something. I said, forget this. I'm out of here. The hors d'oeuvres hadn't even come in yet. But we grew on each other, and thank goodness, Huggy has been a great teacher. I didn't even know how to turn a mic on when I first went on the radio. I am a regular guy. Everyone asks me where I went to school, where I went to college. It was the corner of Maverick and Cottage